Hey kids, today instead of a Bible story, I want to tell you a missionary story. And I want to go back to when I was a little boy. I was probably about y'all's age, seven. I was maybe 7 or 8, maybe a little older. And I have a picture in my house, a painting, that reminds me of a lot of things that were both exciting and a little bit scary that happened back then. So, let's look at this picture. Let's see if I can turn it around so you can see this picture. It hangs in my house. If you come to my house someday, I'll show you this. I'll be happy to show you this picture. Let me see if we get it. Now, can you see it all in there? There we go. Trying to adjust it. This technology. There we go. There. Now, what do you see in that picture? Well, you see the sky. You see a whole bunch of green. There's a mountain there. There's a little house right there and a big tree. I think that's a mango tree right there. And there's the little house. And here's a road. The road comes down from here. We used to live way out there. We come down this road. See that little road coming here? And there's two places here coming right down here. But the big thing that you see here is this river. There's a river flowing here. Just flowing fast. It's swift. It's moving swiftly. So the artist puts those streaks to help us see that it's going fast. And this river is called the Lübe-Lasch River. Can you say that? Lübe-Lasch. In fact, we named one of our horses Lübe. We named her after the river, the Lübe-Lasch. So in this river, I want you to see over here in the very little corner. Do you see over here in the corner, you see this boat with some people in it? This is called a dugout canoe. The people would take a tree, the right size, and they dig out the middle part so you could sit in it. And then they would come, here you see with their bags and different things. Here's the people coming across. This is, by the way, this is in the Congo, a country in Africa. And this is how the people would cross the river. And maybe you can see a pole there. The man in the back is standing up, and he's pushing the canoe, the dugout canoe, across the river. Now, if you look at this canoe, you really can't tell it very well, but right here you see something dark along there that's shaped like a boat. There were 3 or 4 boats like this, but a little bit bigger, and they're all lined up, one, 2, 3, 4, where those men are working. And then they put across the boats, they put planks like this, planks to make a place for a car to drive on. So a car would come down and get onto the ferry and be on it like that. So here the car would come down the road. We never had cool cars like this. It'd come down, and then climb onto the ferry. Now what was really fun for us as kids is it was kind of scary coming to the river. It was exciting, but scary too. Because when the car gets onto the ferry, he had to go up planks. He had to go up planks to get on like this. Well, he would get on the ferry, and when he'd get on it, the ferry would, because of the weight of the car, go down like that. And then he'd go to this end and it'd go to that end. And if there was a big truck on there, it would go like this. And so it was always scary. You wonder, is the car going to roll off into the water? Now in this water, not only was it swiftly moving, but there were crocodiles in it. Crocodiles are scarier than alligators because crocodiles are aggressive. And if somebody falls in, they just love to have a person for dinner. So it was always exciting coming down to the river and getting on to the ferry. And so my dad would make us get out of the car. My daddy would make us get out of the car just in case the car would fall off in the water, because it could. But when they get the cars on it, then you can't see it, but there was a cable from this tower here going all the way across the river. And then there's a rope that goes up to this cable on a pulley, and then all they'd have to do is turn the boat a little bit. There's no motor, but just the swiftness of the current would push it across. And when they're ready to come back, it push it the other way. Your dad could draw a picture and explain that better for you. There was no motor, and so you're crossing on this crazy river, but if that cable ever broke, you'd be in bad trouble because the boat, the whole raft would just go down the river, and who knows where it might stop. So it was fun, exciting, but also scary. There was one other thing that was kind of scary there, is that there was a kind of fly. It was called a tsetse fly. Can you say that? Tsetse. Some people say tsetse, like teetsy beetsy. A tsetse fly or tsetse fly, and it carried a very, very dangerous disease. If it bit you, you could get a disease called sleeping sickness. That's not a good thing because sometimes people would go to sleep and never wake up. So when we were at the river, we also had to be careful not only of falling in the river or the car falling in the river, but also watching to make sure that that fly didn't land on us. So we'd be watching the little kids really carefully and shooing the flies away. It was exciting to be at the river. I remember one time when up this way up the river, my dad, who was a hunter, he killed a big hippopotamus. And the hippopotamus came floating, feet up, came floating, and they pulled it here. And they backed a big truck back here, about a 5-ton truck. They backed it down here, and then they pulled the hippo, and they didn't have a winch or anything like that, but all the men of the village got around. This thing weighed over 2 tons. And they they kept inching it until they put it in the back of the truck, and it filled the whole truck. And everybody was so excited as they drove off to butcher that hippo and have a big party that night. So the river to me wasn't a scary place, but it was a fun place. It was exciting. Sometimes we went fishing there, and you're fishing and there's hippos jumping in the water and there's crocodiles and tsetse flies flying around. But it is exciting to be in God's creation and to know that God is the one taking care of us. One of the things that we've been talking about in our children's sermons is that sometimes life is exciting, sometimes it's scary, but we always can trust God. God takes care of us. We want to be careful, yes, but we trust God to take care of us. And I hope you've learned that song. I'll just sing a little bit of it. Sing with me if you remember. When I am afraid, I will trust in you. I will trust in you. I will trust in you. When I am afraid, I will trust in you, in God whose word I praise. Do you remember that song? Well, we'll be singing it again, and I hope y'all having a really, really happy day. Bye now.